Hi everyone, welcome to Best Recipes with Sharon. This recipe is an all-time favorite. It's for traditional apple pie. So I start out by making the flaky pie crust recipe that I have on another video. It always tastes so much better when you do your homemade pie crust. You can find this recipe on Best Recipes with Sharon under the video section. Then scroll through the videos until you come to the flaky pie crust recipe. So now let's get started for the apple pie recipe. So once you have your pie crust rolled out for your top and your bottom, start by placing 1 cup of white sugar in the mixing bowl. And right here you could opt to do half a cup of white sugar and half a cup of brown sugar instead. Add half a teaspoon of cinnamon to start, and you can always add more cinnamon later on. You don't want to have it overpowering the pie. Then add 1/4 cup of flour. It will help to thicken up some of the juices that come from the apples when they're cooking. And I like to add a little dash of salt in there. Now you'll need to peel and core some apples. What type of apple you use is totally up to you. I tend to gravitate towards the Macintosh apple for apple pies, but there's many apples and many choices that will work as well. Now, general rule of thumb is you'll need about 8 apples to make an apple pie, but they would need to be medium to large apples, so that's why I say 8 to 10 apples, and you'll tell by how much it fills up the pie shell. Now here's a little piece of trivia that I thought I'd add. When I was a child, my mom used to say, peel an apple in 1 long piece, then throw it backwards over your shoulder. Whatever letter of the alphabet it looks like when it lands on the floor, then that is the first initial of the person you will marry. I think this one looks like a D, don't you? We sure had a lot of fun with it as kids, because you could always fabricate things to try and make it to the letter that you wanted it to be. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get back to making the pie. Just take your apples and thinly slice them into the bowl. Now take a large spoon and mix it and bring all that flour and sugar mixture up to the top so that it's well incorporated. Then just take and dump the apple mixture into the unbaked pie shell. So I pat that down a little bit just to make sure it's all even. And then I add several lumps of butter. And that would be about a total of maybe 2 tablespoons of butter that you would need. Then I just lightly sprinkle the top with some more cinnamon. And brush the edges with some water so that it will seal. Then place your pastry on the top of the pie, and you already have it cut so that it's got vented holes, and you can make whatever design you want on that. And then cut the extra pie crust off the edges, and I like to pinch up the dough at the edges of my apple pie to make sure that the juices from the apples don't boil over. Then place it in a 350-degree oven and place the pie on the middle rack. You know it's getting close to being done when the pie is nicely browned up. It'll be about 45 to 55 minutes likely. But to make sure that it is actually cooked through, take a sharp knife and pierce through one of the vent holes and see if the apples are nice and tender. Now there's nothing like the smell of hot apple pie fresh out of the oven. You can cut it into 6 to 8 pieces and serve it up while it's still hot. You can serve it with some cheddar cheese on the side, or sometimes we like to serve it with cheese whiz on top. Some people don't like any cheese on their apple pie and they like to maybe serve it with some ice cream. And you can serve it cold. So there's many ways to serve apple pie and really enjoy it. This is one awesome treat. But what do you do with all your leftover dough? Well, here's one idea. You can make up some pre-baked tart shells and fill them with your favorite cream filling. So instead of having cream pie, you can have cream-filled tarts. So just place your pastry in the tart shells, and you would poke them with a fork, and then place some tin foil and some pie weights in it so that it won't shrink. Then quickly bake them in a 425-degree oven for about 10 minutes or until they're golden. Remove the tin foil and pie weights, and then just bake them for another minute or two to make sure that they brown up nice underneath where the tin foil was. After they've cooled down a little bit, remove them from the tart tin. Now the sky's the limit with what you can fill these shells with. I'm doing it with a little bit of hazelnut base and butterscotch filling. And this recipe for the butterscotch pie filling is on a previous video. But no matter what kind of filling you decide to put in them, cream-filled tarts are absolutely delicious, and they're in individual portions that are a little bit smaller than a piece of pie. And you can just top them off with a little bit of whipped cream and then accent them with a little bit of chocolate like this, and you have quite the little treat. This is what I did to use up my leftover dough after making my apple pie. Thanks for watching today's episode. I hope you've enjoyed it and found some things helpful.